It's a gutter. Like literally a gutter. Like you hang it on your house to collect the rain. Gutter. So I want to do a video on the cheapest, best side skirt option on the market today. It's a gutter. Literally a gutter. Like a gutter. Like, that's right. Best side skirt option out there is a set of gutters. So it looks like I bought a 12-foot section. They were $6 a piece. $6 per gutter. I mean, it's $12 for an entire car. Now you find me a set of $12 side skirts on the market today, and well, I'll be impressed. Now, things you need to think about before you buy anything to try to create side skirts on your car. First off is the mounting surface. Where is this going to mount to? Well, on the Chrysler, as you can see by this little curve back here, it's not really a flat surface to mount these to. So that was part of my dilemma. No matter what I bought, it had to be mounted on an angle. I really wanted to use this straight down side, but it wasn't an option without a lot of work because of that mounting angle. Now that you figured out your mounting angle, go decide what style you want. Because again, like I said, I wanted this style right here. I wanted straight down. I thought it would look really nice in my car. I ended up using this side. And again, that was based on my mounting angle. Of course, places like Lowe's and Menards are all going to sell different gutters. So make some trips. Here's the actual gutters we're going to put on our house. And you can see the shape on that side. And here's the current gutters that we have on our house, and you can see that shape. So go to Menards, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, and check out different gutters. Now, why do I encourage plastic? Because this plastic can be heated up with a heat gun or hair dryer and instantly formed into place. While it's hard to see right now, this area through here actually raises and then lowers back down in the back. And this all had to be heated up and formed into place. I simply heated it with a heat gun, put my hand behind it with a glove on, and pressed up and held until it cooled back down. If you weren't using the crazy shape and you're using the square side, you can actually heat this up and bend it into an end cap. Here you can see where, again, I tried to figure out how to bend an end cap, but because of the curvature of the side I was using, I wasn't able to do so. Which is fine because I don't mind this little end look. But keep in mind you're going to be able to see this back here unless you cut it off, which I did. As you can see, I don't have that little piece back there because it drugged the ground. Because again, of my mounting angle. So now that you figured all that out, go find yourself a handy dandy cutoff wheel and you're going to mark your length. Mine's almost exactly 8 foot and I left just a smidge, if you can see on the front and back, just a smidge of play, so I wasn't all the way up to that edge. And then I simply cut them off with a cutoff wheel. If you don't feel confident in your straight line drawing abilities, simply cut off the little snippet off the end, which you're going to cut off anyways, and lay it on top as a template. Now you have a perfectly straight line. Now use just a standard Harbor Freight cutoff wheel, nothing special with the regular disc, and make your cut. The next thing I did, which you can't see because it's on the car, is I cut down the back side. Now I left just a little bit of this rounded edge and cut right through here for rigidity, because that is going to be part of your flex or part of your stiffness. So I would leave the curve if you don't need to take it off. Again, if you're going to do end caps, figure out your thickness towards the bottom where it's the widest, and then leave that there. So if I can stretch mine back out, that means you'll cut a notch like this, bend it over with some heat. The next thing you're going to need is some screws. Now I left these screws sitting out in the rain for a while, but they're zinc coated. They are rusting a little bit, but again, this was full of water and sitting in the water. Shouldn't have any issues. But find yourself a nice set of screws. A big factor is you don't want a shoulder on the screw. What do I mean by a shoulder on the screw? This is a screw shoulder, or this flat spot. Since you're screwing through thin plastic, you don't want that shoulder. You want to be able to grip all the way up into the top of the screw, and I would even argue that this wedge cut is incorrect and you should have a flat screwed surface so you have better grip. Now that your piece is cut to length, you're going to go test mount it. You're going to screw it up the way you're going to screw it up on your car when you're finished. Mount the entire thing, but don't be too concerned if there's a slight gap because we're going to fix that. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to pull out your handy dandy heat gun, which I don't know where mine is. Actually, I do. It's just not here. It's at a different shop. You're going to pull out your handy dandy heat gun. You're going to begin to heat. First from the bottom, heat a little bit on the top, and then go back to the bottom. And press up as you do this. As soon as the material starts to move, stop heating. You don't want to overheat it or you're going to change your composition. You're going to leave glossy or matte looks depending how far you stretch it. Don't go that far. As soon as you see it starting to move, stop. You're gonna press up while you pull down a little bit on the edge so you can get a nice curve and hold it until it cools. Wear gloves, wear thick gloves, wear leather gloves. Don't do this with your bare hands, it's very hot. Once everything is all formed, looking decent, again, don't worry about that very small gap. You're gonna unscrew everything and take it back off. Next thing you're gonna need is a straight razor. This is an okay tool. I don't mind this straight razor. You can also grab just the straight razor blades. But this style of straight razor remains my favorite with the rubber grip. They're very cheap. Buy one. They're great to have. But when you store them, be sure to store them down in like a corner or something so you don't stab yourself and cut yourself. Maybe even cover it up. When you drill through material, especially a soft plastic, without using a pilot hole or a tap or something along those lines, a little buildup happens. Just a small little ridge around where the hole will be when you drilled through, both here and on your car, because again, you're drilling into plastic. You need to remove that. You're gonna take this straight razor, and as scary as it is, you're gonna lay it flat on here and you're gonna run it across all the holes. Although we don't have a hole, you get the point. Do it on here. Do it on your car. Make sure you don't dig in too deep. If you see the straight razor starting to dig in, simply take it and go around the hole. You're gonna flatten all those off. We're gonna retest fit it. We're gonna make sure it's perfect. We wanna make sure we lost that small gap that was in there. Now we're gonna take your pieces completely off. We're gonna take them somewhere. We're gonna paint. I painted mine black and then used a textured black over top of it to give it a slightly rough finish. This is so it matches the same texture of our HDPE sheeting that I'll be using for front lip and a rear diffuser. And once you're done, you're gonna bolt it back in place. Again, mine's dirty, so ignore that part because we had heavy rain. And there you go. There's how you make your $14 side skirts. Now again, you can see that, well, I'd say that's a pretty good fitment, wouldn't you? We got rid of that small gap in there, and they look pretty good. Now this side, I do have to finish slamming the car, so I wanted to get the side skirts on before I slammed the rear and got my height, and then obviously the other side is still up at stock height, so there's your look at stock height. And then of course we're getting this here front lip done, so front bumper and front lip. But yeah. That's everything that you need to know to build $14 side skirts from the hardware store. And I mean any hardware store. This works great. Use the plastics. If you want to use metal, use metal. It all depends your mounting surface. Metal's just a little harder to adjust. And in my opinion, I want that flex as I go down the road. Especially being this low. Especially in the front, I want that flex. And I can replace it for cheap. So, yeah, this is Dustin with Hard Cruise Racing. Go have fun. Have a good day.